Welcome back. I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And this is the 411. We're covering everything in the football world. There's a couple guys in the basement with nothing better to do, boys.
How are you feeling? I'm feeling Neil. I couldn't be more excited. Championship weekend
is among
Unreal.
us already.
Among us. I can't
Already.
believe it. It crept on us like this.
God.
It's think about it like this, boys. 2 weeks, Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. What, dude? That means a year ago the Patriots won the Super Bowl against the Rams.
No,
No one talk about that.
Oh, that's sad. Michael, how are you?
How you been?
I'm very solid. Very solid. Great week. Not a whole lot of tasks because I have midterms next week, so not a lot of work. Kind of could do more notes than I usually do.
Out of way.
And I'm just excited for this podcast. So let's
Good
get
stuff,
right
man.
into it, right?
Good stuff.
So we're gonna start off A and B as we always do, and then we're all gonna talk about just honestly just having a conversation. No really stats, just what we watched during all the divisional games this past week. We're getting into our AFC Championship predictions. We got Titans Chiefs coming up. Nobody saw Titans make it this far. New England and then Baltimore. Crazy. Then obviously our NFC Championship game, we got Packers Niners. Hop in our analysis for that. And then obviously filling out our brackets.
Got our brackets again. And this week, filling in
Super
our
Bowl
predictions.
That's right.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, we are.
Interesting.
By the way, just want to put it out there. Today is my 6,000th day on Earth.
That's fantastic.
No, slow down. Slow down. What?
Yeah, so 6,000 days ago, I was born. Yeah, so 2 days ago, I was curious. I looked on Google, I'm like, I wonder how many days old I am. And I said 5,998. I'm like,
oh my god.
Friday, podcast day, I'm only 6,000
Happy
days old.
6,000th day, Michael.
Appreciate it.
Very happy to A and B, man.
Well, we're wrapping up 2-minute warning and then obviously top 3 at the end. So A and B this week, a lot of post Black Monday coaching fires and hires. So A and B this week, which NFL coaching move you boys think made more sense? We got Matt Rule, former Bears coach, to the Panthers, or Mike McCarthy, former Packers coach, to the Cowboys. So A, we've got Matt Rule. B, we've got McCarthy.
So I think that McCarthy was very rushed.
I don't know too much about him.
Matt Rule. So he took an 0-12 team to be undefeated, and then took a 1-11 team to be like 11-1.
Oh wow!
He flipped records. So the Mike McCarthy thing seemed very rushed to me because if you think about
it was a little rushed.
Out of all the franchises that signed a coach, you have the Panthers with Matt Rule. Sorry, I'm blanking. Redskins with Ron Rivera.
Yep.
Giants with Joe. What's his name?
Joe Judge.
Joe Judge. And then you had the Cowboys with Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I think it's very fair to say the Cowboys have the best roster, the most talent, and I just don't think that
the fact that
McCarthy...
I'm sorry. I'm bringing back a little bit of my hatred towards the Cowboys, and I'm sorry for Cowboys fans. You had the talent.
They had all the tools.
They had all the tools, dude. They just... Sorry. Continue.
I Gallup,
dude.
Zeke,
it
comes down to coaching.
It really was just
hands down. So I just feel like, McCarthy, he hasn't done that much. He has won a Super Bowl, but outside of that, I know it's a big, outside of that, but outside of that, he hasn't done much.
Yeah.
So I just think it was very rushed to sign him. But
he will have a lot more weapons in, or at least a decent
Not necessarily, dude. In Green Bay, he had at many different times.
Yeah,
Jordy Nelson, Jimmy Graham, Michael Finley, Jordy Nelson. He had some great running backs.
So now Cowboys. So you got Cooper, Gallup, Zeke, Dak. I think he does a decent amount.
And
with
that
his
defense
team.
is extremely good.
Yeah,
under the right coaching, that's a very good defense.
It's a 4-3 scheme, and they just hired a new coach. His name is defensive coordinator. His name is Mike Nolan.
I don't know.
He just got hired for the new defensive coordinator spot in Dallas.
But if you think about it,
they're cleaning house.
They're
like,
have to.
Whatever is happening isn't working. That's pretty much what they've come to.
Because even Jared Jones come to the realization, he's like, all right, I have done everything right as an owner. I have given all these players money.
No, right. He's overpaid so many players.
He has overpaid players,
Michael. I disagree with you.
But he has overplayed a few players. But even with that, he's got to have said to himself, all right, I am doing everything. I have Cooper, Gallup, like all of these guys, and it just comes down to coaching.
The two same guys. I mean,
Cooper, Gallup,
like wide receivers don't win you championships. Dude, he
Okay,
held out to
true.
Jason Garrett 5 more years than he should have. He let them go a 500
I think that was
team
more
with great talent.
just a loyalty to
No,
Garrett.
but
type
loyalty.
thing.
He does have a loyalty.
In the
He
NFL.
did have a loyalty to Garrett.
You know, and I know it probably broke his heart
Jason
having to
Garrett
get rid of
is not the
Garrett.
same as like a Bill Belichick loyalty type thing.
I know
Garrett
that,
was
but the
5 years.
relationship, it doesn't matter. But the relationship that Jones had with Garrett,
And you got to think about, dude, most coaches and owners don't have that.
yeah,
Do I agree that the biggest bond in the season between an owner and a coach is Belichick and Kraft?
Like,
Yes.
No,
Do you think-
false.
do you think
That's
Pat
the biggest
Sherm-
power struggle? Are you kidding me?
No, dude.
Dude,
I think
Belichick 2 years ago, after they traded Jimmy Garoppolo, was this close to taking a job in either Washington or New York. Dude, reports came out today.
yeah.
Reports came out today that Belichick was this close to taking a job after they let go of Garoppolo. That's how much Belichick wanted Garoppolo and how
He did
little
want
Kraft
Garoppolo.
cared
He did
about
want
it, dude.
Garoppolo.
That's not a great relationship.
I see.
People talk way too much about Brady leaving and McDaniels leaving. What about Belichick? Well, make sure that he wants to sit in this system and wait for them holding on to this 42-year-old quarterback, waiting for the dynasty to die out.
I agree that something's got to give with Brady, but like, when is the question?
So all right,
I think
have
it should have been last year.
question
And
for
last
you
year should have
before we hop into AFC Championship. Do you guys think? Actually, kind of a common question. So if Brady leaves, do you think Belichick leaves?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
dude, Belichick has more incentive to stay if Brady leaves. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think underneath
Agreed.
everything, Belichick wants Brady gone.
he wants a. Yes, I agree. He wants a fresh start, dude.
Okay.
Do you think Belichick is going to pay
if
a
you were to argue,
43-year-old quarterback?
dude, if you were to argue,
quarterback,
if you were to argue that
$30
Brady
million.
and Belichick didn't have a good relationship, I'd agree with you.
Belichick, Brady and
Brady and
Kraft.
Belichick do not have
Brady
a
and
good
Kraft
relationship.
have, like,
dude. Brady and Belichick
a
don't
very
have a
good
good
relationship. Belichick doesn't have a good relationship with anybody.
That's true. He's
Honestly.
Belichick. I want to do what I want to do all the time. I see what you're saying.
So we just want to dive into Titans Ravens, some of the divisional shit we've watched. Pat, you want to start it off?
I'll start it off. I got nothing. Like, not that I got nothing. I got a lot about this. It's just, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. 20. It wasn't even, when we talked about this, 28-12, it wasn't even like, when we were doing this, we're like, oh, like, we never wrote the Titans off. I don't think any of us wrote the Titans
Dude,
off.
I had the Titans lose by 4.
Right.
I had them in a close game.
But all of us
I
had
kind of did.
really,
I think a lot of people did.
all of us had a Ravens win, but by like a close game.
Yeah.
They killed them, dude.
Yeah.
I just,
The score, yeah, it's a lot of points, but it's even more than that, honestly.
I can't, I just,
Don't let the stats deceive you. Lamar Jackson played awful in this game.
yeah, he didn't play good.
Yeah, I know he threw for 365 yards and 143 rushing yards. He did not play that well.
He didn't play well according to
really
what he's
didn't.
done the rest
He really
of the season.
didn't. 12 points he did not play well.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to go by. He didn't play well. The stats are way too good for what he did.
Dude,
Those
honestly,
were all in garbage time.
and I'm gonna get into this when I talk about Chiefs Titans. Nobody can stop Henry, dude. Not one person can stop him.
I'll get into it.
Oh god.
Not one person.
You think the Chiefs defense, who is 26 against the run, can stop Derrick Henry? They give 135 yards per game to all the running backs in the NFL. Do you think that he can stop Derrick Henry?
Maybe.
False.
Maybe.
Neil, what are you gonna back it up with?
Yeah, back it up, man.
I will get into that when we hop into the game.
Sounds good. Michael, thoughts about the game, man?
Titans Ravens. I thought it was a blowout. That's all I'm gonna say. And I think the Titans deserve to be in the
Hands
AFC
down.
Championship
Could-
game.
nothing
So I'm
bad.
gonna
Of course, they
Not
deserve to be in the
bad.
AFC Championship. I completely agree.
sorry, can I lead off Texans Chiefs?
Texans Chiefs.
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely.
24-0. And then 51-31.
For all
the
sorry.
Chiefs scored 41 unanswered points
Remarkable.
against the Texans,
Remarkable.
who led by 24.
For all the people who say that this comeback was just as good as the Patriots in 51, you can
Who said
Wrong.
plenty of people.
Really?
A lot of people.
comparing
You
these
can
two.
you can click off this video right now. You can go.
At home,
Yeah.
isolated place.
Yeah. Go, that makes me so angry.
Third
oh my
quarter.
God.
First
Right.
quarter.
First quarter, they came back. It was a tremendous comeback.
Yeah,
So
it's
no one's
obviously
discounting that.
obviously still a good comeback, just not
Pressure,
comparable to
divisional,
the
Super Bowl.
Also,
Super Bowl.
They're the first team to go down by 20 and then win by 20 in the same game.
Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. It was an amazing game, dude. Mahomes, not even Mahomes, he was throwing dimes. All of his receivers dropping balls.
Yeah.
Kelce, important third down, dropping balls. What's his name? Got absolutely wrecked. Hill.
Oh my
Hill
God.
got killed.
Dude, that was
oh my
unreal.
crazy.
God.
That hit was,
That was-
stupid.
Dude, he got like,
Yeah, that was
Oh my god.
the two
I know.
because one.
Dude, I
And
put it out
one
there.
of the, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes led the entire game, not just the Chiefs, led the entire game in rushing yards. He had 53. Jamie Williams
That was
had
a passing
47.
game, man.
And then Carlos Hyde led for the Texans with 44.
That's remarkable.
Like,
Yeah,
Dude,
like,
Mahomes
just a
dominated
big
that game.
passing
But
game in
dude,
general.
back to that.
Kelce with 3 touchdowns, 10 catches, 134 yards.
Oh yeah.
Here's a good question for you. Better tight end, Kittle, Kelce, go.
I think Kittle's better. I think
think
Kittle
Kittle's
is
better,
a better.
okay.
He's a better playmaker because look at
I
the
think Kittle
quarterbacks.
can block.
Who's better? Yeah,
Kelsey,
He's one of,
dude,
he's one of the best in the
Kelsey's a
NFL.
glorified receiver.
Yeah,
I think he's
so?
a glorified
He is.
receiver.
Also, look at his quarterback, dude, and look at Kittle's quarterback. And I'm not saying Garoppolo's bad, even though we'll dive into that in a second.
Mahomes is better. I
Mahomes
agree.
is a better quarterback.
Better quarterback. I completely agree.
Quick question. While we're kind of on the Garoppolo, do you think the pressure of playoffs is going to get to Garoppolo? Because
He already has.
He's technically been in a playoff situation and won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
He hasn't
but
been in a
did
playoff situation.
He's never been in a playoff situation.
Well,
He's won
okay,
it.
been on the
okay.
team.
He's been on the team.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Well, I think they proved it this week. He's not ready yet. 130 yards, 11 for 19.
My dad thinks he crumbles. My dad
One
thinks Green Bay wins
interception,
this week.
1 touchdown. No receiver had over 40 yards.
Yeah, but what receivers is he throwing to?
I agree. And that's why I think it's going to be their downfall and why I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Dude,
But
now that
still,
now that
131 yards this week.
we're gonna get into this.
Nothing-
Now that I'm
Nothing
thinking
to
about it,
write
dude,
home about.
He played awful.
every team thus far has so many key flaws.
And
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about
Yeah,
this.
me too. Like, dude,
Oh my God.
I'm thinking about this now. I'm not gonna get into it, but so many flaws to
So
these
many, dude.
teams.
So many.
Now that I'm thinking, wow,
I know.
these are flawed teams, and honestly, I think it makes it almost a little bit even more interesting.
Yeah, because they're playing sloppy football. It's like college.
I think
fun
it's
to watch.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah,
but
me
yeah,
too.
no. Seahawks Packers. I thought it was interesting about that first down because it just wasn't a first
Wasn't a
down
first
at all.
That was not a first down.
With the edited
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I will
Have you
say,
seen that? That's funny.
I'm really happy Seattle fans aren't taking it as bad as Saints fans.
Yeah, dude.
Agreed.
Saints fans are kind of like
Michael Thomas on Twitter is just annoying me so much.
Yeah,
me too.
Like, stop, dude.
Yeah.
You lost because
He's,
you're not as
chirping
good.
the
He
other
was
like
I did it with a broken hand. Like, okay. God,
God,
Ben Watson played half the season with a torn Achilles. Like,
yeah, dude.
come on.
I'm with that, but no,
It was a good game. Packers deserve to win that game. Even
I agree.
Though, you know,
Adams had a touchdown or two.
dude. there's no other way to say it.
yeah, Adams
Packers,
touchdown, yeah.
Packers were the better team. That's all I gotta say.
and I
Packers
think
were
you
the
know what it
better
also
team.
proved? Yes, stop Devontae Adams. Because outside of him, their top receiver was Graham with 3 catches for 49 yards. And after him, they had 5 people with 1 catch.
Yeah.
So outside of Adams, and maybe you want to count Graham, I wouldn't. Outside of Adams, they don't have any weapons to throw to.
I agree. Absolutely.
So do you guys want to dive into?
Can I start?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to start with Titans Chiefs. So, as Pat kind of hinted before, I think this is the weakest AFC Championship game we've had in past years.
Agreed.
Think about it. What I mean is both teams have so many weaknesses
Yeah.
and have a ton of big question marks on both offense and defense. For starters, the Chiefs have proven that they can come back from being down by a lot.
Yep.
But they were down at home by 24 off of a bye against the Texans. Texans aren't as good as the Chiefs, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
For the Titans, they proved they can go play on the road and beat 2 awesome teams, but they only put up 14 combined points in the second half in the 2 games. So in both of the games they've played in the playoffs, 14 combined second half points. Not very good. They got away with just surging in the first half and putting up nothing in the second half because both the Ravens and Pats aren't designed to play from behind. Lamar Jackson can't just run his way to victory. Brady doesn't have the receivers to get big plays down the field. And like I said before, the Chiefs can, and they proved it last week. I want to hear Pat has to say that.
I'm sorry. I am looking. You were talking about how this is one of the weakest AFC champions we've seen in a while. I just searched up past AFC championship. The last time the Patriots weren't in an AFC championship was 2010.
Yep.
11
When the
Patriots
Jets were,
Ravens. Oh my God, Patriots
Colts,
Ravens
Jets.
again. Broncos Patriots, Colts Patriots, Broncos Patriots, Steelers Patriots, Jaguars Patriots, Chiefs Patriots.
Yeah.
No, but you're definitely. No, yeah, I agree. This is a weak AFC championship.
So
Continue. Sorry.
The Chiefs scored 41 unanswered points, as I said before, and they're the only team to be down by 20 and also win by 20, as I said before. But let's talk about this week.
Okay.
So obviously, the best part of the Titans' offense is Derrick Henry, the running
monster.
Derrick Henry is breaking records, being the only running back to rush for over 180 yards in 3 consecutive games, and he did it against 3 of the top 10 run defenses.
And honestly, I think that's the most remarkable part of it.
And I can't wait to hear for what Neil says on why the Chiefs are going to stop Derrick Henry.
I think it's more about maybe they'll struggle stopping Derrick Henry, but I think it's more about
Mahomes, the offense.
Okay. Let's say.
That's a fair
Derrick
point.
Henry,
mine is more offensive based.
Oh, okay. Derrick Henry gives up... the Kansas City Chiefs give up 135 rushing yards per game, which is 26th. And Derrick Henry is not only unstoppable, but he can silence crowds. Think about it. Arrowhead, hard place to play.
Mm-hmm. New England, hard place to play.
Yeah.
Baltimore, hard place to play.
Yeah.
Dude, those are all hard places.
Exactly. If the team is just running the ball every time and picking up 5 or 6, the crowd's going to be out of the game. They're going to be silent. Like, what are they going to do?
I remember... Sorry, not to bring up the Patriots again. These guys were at my house, and I remember every single time Derrick Henry, 5 yards, 6 yards. We were just like,
it was silent. What are you going to do?
We knew that every single play, dude, he was just gonna. Like,
he was taller than all of the dudes trying to tackle him.
Dude,
like, how are you gonna
like? He's a refrigerator. You can't take him down.
The dude is ridiculous.
So we're gonna talk about the quarterbacks now. And for the sake of both of them not playing complete seasons, I'm just gonna go by averages. Mahomes, 288 yards per game. Tannehill, 306. Mahomes, 2.2 touchdowns per game. Tannehill, 2.8. Mahomes has a 66% completion percentage. Tannehill,
69. Yep, I knew that.
So, Tannehill is better in the top 3 statistics for quarterbacks.
Interesting.
So it seems that Tannehill is a better quarterback on paper.
Slow down.
And honestly,
so many things.
Yeah,
so many things that go against that.
Slow down, Michael.
About last year, not this year.
No, about this year.
When we say this year,
we
say this year, let's talk about the second half of the regular season. Is that fair to say? When we refer to Tannehill's year, because
he played 9 games.
That's what I'm saying. When he started.
Yeah, sure. The second half of the year. So Tannehill better on paper. And honestly, it looks the same way in real life. I know that he hasn't played well in the playoffs. I know, but have they needed him? Answer. Have they needed him?
No. They didn't.
No.
I agree.
Listen.
Exactly.
Tannehill is 83 as a starter, and right now I think he's the better quarterback statistically. So because the Titans are on a hot streak, Derrick Henry is not being answered yet, and the Titans' ability to beat great quarterbacks on the road, I've got the Tennessee Titans going to the Super Bowl.
I respect it. Can I hop in next?
No.
Yes, I'm hopping in. So, Titans Chiefs. It's going to be a great game. King Henry defeating Jackson.
Yeah, get an image.
Red Hot Ravens. Let's think. Against the Patriots, Derrick Henry, 34. And this is an interesting thing I want you guys to think about. It's a stat, but it's more like you got to think about it. Mm-hmm. Against the Patriots, Derrick Henry, 34 touches, 182 yards, averaging 5.4 yards per carry on a touchdown.
204 total.
Exactly. Going against a better team in general. I'm not gonna lie, a better team in Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
He had
obviously.
He had 195 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. He ran for 30 touches against Baltimore and 34 against the Patriots, and he did better.
Top 10 run defenses.
He did more with less.
He did more with less touches. Meaning every single time with his yards per carry went up by doing less. Meaning that every single run he had hungry. Yeah. Meaning every single run he had, dude, must have been absolute just chunk yardage. It's absurd. And the one I think it's ridiculous. Meaning he had the ball less and he did more against the Ravens.
Good defenses.
So let's take a look at these two teams. Number 6 Texans, number 2 Chiefs. I don't know how they got here.
Number 5.
How did the Chiefs become the 2 seed?
I have no idea. Because we
lost.
Number 4 Texans. Number 4 Texans, number 2 Chiefs.
Oh, did I say Texans?
Yeah.
I meant Titans.
Okay,
sorry.
Titans are number 6.
Number 6 Titans versus the number 2 Chiefs. The Titans are 10th in scoring, 13th in scoring defense. The Chiefs are 5th in scoring and 7th in scoring defense. So you got to think about that, but I think that counts with Mariota as the quarterback.
I was just going to say, that counts with Mariota.
Yep.
But then again, that also counts with the 2 games that Mahomes was out.
And you got to think about it like this, dude. The Titans are run reliant. The Titans versus the Chiefs offenses.
And can Kansas City stop them?
Fair. Points per game, Titans 25, Chiefs 28 on average. Yards per game, 362.8 for the Titans, 379 for the Chiefs. Pass yards per game, 223 for the Titans, 281 for the Chiefs. Obviously rushing, 138 for the Titans and 98 for the Chiefs.
Name the bell cow on the Chiefs.
I don't know what that means. The bell cow?
Like, the guy who gets all the carries.
Well, the carries?
All the
what's his
runs.
name? Deshaun,
Damon Williams?
Shady. McCoy?
Damon Williams is technically the guy,
Williams.
but see how there's a lot of like.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah,
I
they're more
see what you're saying.
Who's the number one running back on the Titans?
Yeah.
No, but so turnovers 17, Titans, Chiefs 15. So on paper, maybe he seems that quarterback is better, but the team in general, the Chiefs do appear better. So let's hop in. So the Chiefs, for the bettors, the Chiefs are a 7.5 favorite. The over/under is 49.
Titans are at least going to cover. There's no way.
Oh, they're going to cover.
Which means that the final score is going to be a differential of less than 7.5 points.
The last time we saw these two teams play, we had a win for the Titans.
Yeah, 35-32.
So they've beaten them before. Another crazy thing. That game was the last time the Chiefs lost this season.
Really?
That was the last time they lost against the Titans. A crazier fact, the last time the Chiefs beat the Titans was 2013.
Last time the Chiefs beat the Titans was 2013.
And really important, Mahomes played in that game. When the Titans beat him. So did Tannehill.
There you go. So let's break it down offense, defense. This is what I love doing, just getting down to the nitty-gritty, man. So Mahomes looked good against the Texans, not counting the first quarter because I don't know what happened. Honestly, no, he did look good in the first quarter. He was throwing it right into his basket, but every receiver... No, I'm talking about Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
He was throwing it right in his basket, but everyone was dropping it. 321 yards, 5 touchdowns. You can't dispute that. And the biggest asset last game was Travis Kelce, who's dealing with a hamstring issue right now. So the fact that he plowed through and got 3 touchdowns, stay tuned for that. 10 catches, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns. The game is at home, but the Chiefs are only 5-3 at home. So to say that there's some kind of stigma that the Chiefs are like such an unstoppable team at home, like home field advantage. Teams have done it before. Yeah. It's not like a crazy thing. So now if we think Chiefs defense, one key injury to the Chiefs has been Chris Harris. Do you know Chris Harris?
Yeah.
Chris Harris. So he's questionable for the return this week. He hasn't played at all in the playoffs. He didn't play against the Texans. So if we see him on the defense, it'd be a key add. Lucky for the Chiefs, Carlos Hyde of the Texans only had 44 yards.
Wait, Chris Harris or Chris Jones?
Harris.
Who's Chris Harris?
Do I mean Chris Jones?
The defensive tackle?
Yeah.
Chris Jones. Chris
Sorry.
Jones.
So the run defense in the playoffs hasn't been properly tested because Carlos Hyde only had 44 yards in that game. So I think they're in for a treat when playing against Derrick Henry. With pretty much the best run offense in the NFL, I don't think anybody can dispute that. It's an amazing offense, run-wise. It would be huge for the Chiefs.
Come playoff time, yeah.
Of course. Speaking of the best run offense, let's go to the Titans offense. Henry, 1,540-yard season so far, 16 touchdowns. You got to be kidding me.
He's leading in both of those.
This is an explosive team.
Leading the league in
an explosive team. And you could say that they have one thing and then they're a little two-dimensional. But no team has found a way around it. None. And I've been telling myself that they're two-dimensional. And they're really not super deep.
And I know I keep on going back to it. What makes you think at the 26th ranked
I do go back to my previous
defense,
statement. They will struggle stopping Henry. That's one of my first.
What makes you think that the 26th ranked run defense is going to be able to just miraculously find a way to stop
the Titans? And most times in this situation on a podcast, I'd say here's what the Chiefs need to do to shut down Henry. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
If the Ravens can't, if the Patriots
I sat on my computer doing my notes and I was like, all right, I didn't type in things to stop Henry. I was just trying to think all right, what can the Chiefs do? What can I say on this podcast to imply that the Chiefs would have a chance to stop Henry? I couldn't find anything. I couldn't give any argument to say that the Chiefs were going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. And the only defense, if I made a list, the only defense who I think would be able to do it, in my opinion, let's say 2 weeks ago, and future me told me Derrick Henry is about to go off in the playoffs. What teams do you think have a chance of stopping this dude? My list would be the Patriots and the Ravens.
I would say the 49ers too.
No, AFC.
Just AFC. Okay.
My list would be the Patriots and the Ravens. Guess who they've beaten? The Patriots and the Ravens. So the list would be Patriots and Ravens, and we all know what happened to them. So are the Chiefs on that list?
No.
Nope. I don't think so. So I don't see a solid Chiefs defense. They're fine, but they're not good with stopping the run. They're fine with stopping the pass, and that's why Tannehill's going to be a non-factor. And
over or under 150 yards?
Under. I have under.
I think if they lose under, and this might be a very obvious thing, but if they lose under, I think for them to win, and I know Derrick Henry's the X factor. I know he's the guy that like everybody's looking after or looking at. For them to win, I think that Tannehill's gonna have a relatively big game. Like maybe not big, but like 202 touchdowns. Like, I think that's what they're gonna need.
I think Henry.
Tannehill?
Tannehill.
I disagree.
I think Tannehill. I'm not saying he's gonna have like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm saying like 200.
You're contradicting yourself. You literally just said the Chiefs defense isn't good, and that Henry's gonna explode.
I think he's going to explode. But you know who has a good offense? The Chiefs. You know who has an explosive offense? The Chiefs. And if you're down by like 14, 17
it's gonna
points,
come down.
You have to kind of not give up on the run game, but you have to
go
pass heavy.
Of course.
And that's why I'm saying if they're down, Tannehill has to throw for.
Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to be down.
Well, okay. The offense is good, but the Titans' defense is not like.
And I'm going to get
still current.
And I'm going to talk about this. And this is all I have to say. If that defense can stop Jackson, who else can they stop?
Jackson.
If that defense can stop Lamar Jackson, who else can't they stop?
By the way, timeout. Hands down, Jackson's the MVP. Obviously. Hands. Well, okay. Well, just because he lost in the division round,
he's still the MVP.
Playoffs don't have nothing to do with regular season.
Absolutely not.
Agreed, but typically a team that the MVP at least goes to the.
He's right.
It's
rare. Sometimes the MVP does go far.
It's rare that they have like an MVP on like the Super Bowl team. They usually give it to like the loser of the Super Bowl. But like it's been a while since I've seen someone who's been out in the division round win the MVP.
He's right.
Like, when was
I
the
can't
last time?
think about it, but like, dude, like Lamar Jackson's the MVP.
No disputing that. So, but I got to think about it. It was a strategic scheme for the Titans. What's so funny?
No, just the
very strategic. They used a lot of disguised coverages to try and confuse Jackson, and it worked really well. So when I look at that,
Vrabel's really good at. I think he's the best in the league at disguising coverages.
So when I look at that, there's no stat. It's just that they were able to stop Jackson. I don't see them being able to stop.
But the thing is,
Mahomes.
that worked because Lamar is extremely two-dimensional.
No, he's not. Are you kidding me?
Running and passing.
Two-dimensional means like you don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
Three-dimensional means you have everything.
That's what I mean. Okay, so yeah, so you can disguise the coverages because Lamar he can do anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Mahomes can't. So disguising the coverages isn't going to matter as much because Mahomes is more like
okay, but it keeps the momentum in my opinion. Titans shock the world. Chiefs lose 2 straight AFC Championship losses at home and in overtime. 35-28 win. Titans go to the Super Bowl.
Overtime?
So overtime.
So my initial reaction to this game, I'm
2 straight at home. Overtime. AFC Championship.
I agree with Michael. I agree with you guys. Chiefs are gonna struggle stopping Henry. Obviously, they did do some serious revamping on defense last offseason. Hire Steve Spagnuolo.
Took them a lot of time to get adjusted.
Free agent pick of safety Tyrann Mathieu. Henry's run for more than 182 yards in 3 consecutive games, as you guys said before. But they're also behind this really, really dominant O-line. They're 4th best in the league this year. Pure analysis, Week 10, as we're talking about, Titans pull off an upset win, 35-32, thanks to Derrick Henry's 188-yard performance on the day.
So he can run against that defense effectively.
Agreed. Titans defensive coordinator Dean Pease, obviously pretty tired guy. He spent the last few weeks trying to come up with a plan to defend quarterbacks who are obviously not impossible, but pretty impossible to defend. Now, you'd think having already coached against
Wait,
Mahomes,
are you including Brady in that conversation?
Yeah, I think Brady's a hard quarterback to play in the playoffs, don't you think?
He is.
Yeah, to play in the playoffs, and to game plan against, I just don't think this year compared to others.
Okay, yeah, but
he was
the stigma of going into Tom Brady's house and playing Tom Brady. You don't think
there's a stigma.
I agree, but I just think this year a lot.
It's different. It's different.
Agreed.
I think it's a different vibe.
You would think having already coached against Mahomes this season would give him kind of a head start on kind of a prep for the AFC title game. I think the first matchup in Week 10, I think gave him more questions than answers. I feel like Titans tried virtually everything to stop Mahomes. They tried a lot of different defenses. They dropped back into standard zone coverage, destroyed those. Played man coverage, destroyed those. Tried to show just one look before the snap and then rotate in another after that. Destroy those too. Mahomes' style that day was He went 36 for 50 with a 72% completion rate, 446 yards with 3 touchdowns.
That's week 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Just making sure.
I think the Chiefs come out on top for 4 reasons. Number one, Titans defense. So although most would admit they're on high right now, Titans defense for the vast majority of the season was extremely less than stellar. Now they did shut down the Pats and the Ravens. But listen to this. This season,
the fact that you're silencing the fact they shut down the Patriots and the Ravens, two of the best teams in the AFC. But let's think about the regular season when that's
let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
I'll hear you out.
I'll hear you
out. This season, Tennessee allowed 25.
No, but not this season. You have to look at the playoffs.
I mean, season matters, dude, but playoffs trumps.
It matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but like right now, would you say the Titans are a different team in the playoffs and regular season?
Okay.
Would you say the Baltimore was a different team in the playoffs and regular season?
So
teams are different.
Okay, so they did hold the Ravens to 12
points. The Patriots last year, they went 11.
They gave up 530 yards of total offense in that game. They caught a few breaks, as mentioned before.
To the Ravens?
Yeah,
they got some
breaks. We talked about that, dude.
Yeah.
And we talked about how Lamar Jackson, his stats weren't that great. No, sorry.
His stats were very good.
His stats were very good. Just, they don't tell the whole picture. They were playing down by like
stats can be deceiving.
Extremely deceiving.
And it's funny because my line is numbers don't lie. But you know what? Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
and that's why I think you can't look at the numbers last week. You really can't because like the numbers don't tell the full story. The Ravens were playing from behind a lot that game. The Titans could kind of take the gas off the pedal a little bit. I mean, you look at the second half scoring. I talked about it earlier. Titans have 14 combined second half points. Last week, I don't know the number off the top of my head.
This is just
7.
This is just defense. We're talking just Titans defense right now.
He's right. He was talking defense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I do because you did start talking about Tannehill.
No, but then you started talking about how Lamar had an impact on the game, and I'm saying that those yards.
No. What happened was Pat was saying that I wrote off the Pats and the Ravens. We were having the debate between obviously playoff football is more important than regular season football. Playoff stats mean more than regular season stats. What I'm saying is they held the Ravens 12 points. Yes, very good against arguably the most explosive offense in the league this year. But they did give up 530 yards of total offense, and the Ravens made a few key errors. I'm saying
it's a good point.
The Chiefs are way less likely to give up those errors with Kelce.
Dude, how could you say that?
Yeah,
Did you watch the game last week?
Dude, yeah.
The entire first quarter was
key errors, and that's what's so interesting.
I'm saying
honestly, I think that's what's so interesting.
Yeah, like we were saying before, all of the errors, but I think the Ravens will have or had more errors than the Chiefs will this week.
I see.
I'm not expecting a lot of. I'm just not.
Dude, the
expecting
Ravens were one of the most efficient teams in the NFL. They were third in efficiency this year.
Nobody saw this coming. No one saw this.
I'm not
Titans.
saying I saw
I'm
it
talking to
coming.
him. I'm with you. Nobody saw this coming, Neil.
Yeah.
Nobody could be like, oh yeah, dude, Titans are winning this game. The fact that the Titans won this game was remarkable. They deserved it. They 100% deserved it. They killed them.
Were there key errors that helped them? Yeah, but it wasn't just like fumbling the handoff. It was like genuine like interceptions that they threw that were just bad passes, or they read the defense perfectly.
Yeah,
which is the disguised coverage that really helped.
It was less Ravens being good, rather the Titans being. No.
Yes,
it was rather the Ravens being. It was rather
the
Titans
making mistakes.
Titans. Right. It was rather. No. Hold on. I want to get my words right.
We got this.
That game was rather the Titans playing good than the Ravens playing bad.
Yes.
When it comes to the Titans defense and the Ravens offense.
And I think that it's extremely unfair to say that the Chiefs are going to not replicate what they did last week because they have a lot of momentum.
Both these teams have momentum, and that's so interesting.
I think Titans have more momentum because they're coming off of 2 huge wins.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So second reason, Ryan Tannehill. A lot of people are talking about Tannehill right now. Yes, he's beaten Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson, but
no, he hasn't.
Henry has.
No, he has. Yes.
Henry has. Tannehill went 8-15 with 72 yards, 1 touchdown, interception against the Pats.
Nothing.
How many
and
yards?
Then went
72.
72 yards.
Then went
72 yards.
Then he went 7-14 with 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. So,
dude, it's still
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Dude, no, it's 88 yards, dude.
And then had a rushing touchdown.
Yards.
Yeah,
touchdowns
throwing is nothing.
TD reliant.
100.
I don't want to hear it. Anybody who says
yards.
Tannehill, nothing doesn't belong here. No, you know what? No, he doesn't. No, dude.
Tannehill belongs here.
He's along for the ride, but
yeah. Henry's carrying him.
Yeah,
like his little baby, dude.
I would agree. He is Yes, he is in the Tannehill's in the carriage
I
now,
think
and
Tannehill-
Henry is carrying like all
Right.
the grocery bags and pushing the cart.
I think Tannehill can stand it. He can stand his own,
Oh yeah.
but nothing compared to these
But if you
quarterbacks.
watch the games, and I'm contradicting myself so much right now. If you watch the games, Tannehill had a few really key plays that.
You just went up and said that
I
he was
know.
statistically better than Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yes, I still think he is better than Mahomes. I'm proving my point saying he's better than
Okay.
Mahomes. I really am, dude. This season, Tannehill had a better impact in the games than Mahomes did in his games. I still stand with that.
Hold on, dude.
Henry had a better
Mahomes-
impact.
No,
Dude,
yes,
hold
Henry had his
on,
best season,
hold
but
on,
no.
hold on. Mahomes had a sick game against the Texans.
I know. Wait, Texans?
The Texans.
Yes, I completely.
You just said like, oh, he
completely
didn't have an
agree.
impact. Yeah, he did. He threw
I said the regular
5
season.
touchdowns.
I did not say last game. I said the regular
Regular
season.
season.
Tannehill had a bigger impact.
I thought playoffs mattered more than regular
I didn't say
season.
that. No, shut up.
Oh no, wait.
No. I'm not saying that it didn't matter. But
The
we're
regular
comparing,
season doesn't matter
Yeah.
as much.
comparing the regular
You got 'em.
seasons. You were just comparing the regular seasons.
right.
That's you know
You're
what
just
you're right.
comparing the
You're
regular
right.
seasons.
You're
If
right.
you weren't,
You're
I
right.
wouldn't
I'm
have
with
made
you.
that point.
You're right.
Tannehill had a bigger regular season than Mahomes did. Not statistically, but if you look at the completion percentage and the touchdowns and the ratios, Tannehill had a better season. He had a more efficient season than Mahomes did.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So the 4
Call
total.
me crazy. Tannehill had
Four-
a better season.
All right, 4 total touchdowns.
I'm not
2
disagreeing
games.
with you.
It's
I,
not
I would agree. Regular season.
4 total touchdowns is 2 games. It's not terrible. 160 passing yards and 3 turnovers is terrible.
Who had 160 passing yards with 3 turnovers?
What?
Who had 160 passing
Tannehill
yards?
in the last 2 games. 160 passing yards.
I just talked about regular season. I didn't talk about.
All right. All right.
Shut up, Pat.
If the Titans really need to lean on Tannehill for any reason, are you gonna trust them with his 160 passing yards?
Yes. Yes.
think
I'm gonna
yes?
ask one
Yes.
question. gonna
I'm
ask
not.
one
I
question.
think he can stand his
Did
own.
they need him 2 straight weeks?
Right.
Did they need him?
Right.
No.
You just came off of saying how
Why
they didn't need
Why
him.
would they need him this week though?
Because I think it's I
Higher
think
stakes.
Okay.
Yeah, higher
Okay.
stakes, but also I think the Chiefs are a more explosive team than the Ravens and Patriots.
Okay.
Ravens put up more points, yeah,
No.
but
Dude, the Ravens are a more explosive team.
no, they're not. They cannot play from behind.
That's true.
Well, Ravens cannot play
and
from
they really
behind
haven't
at all.
had to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, dude, this entire
they
season
haven't had to.
They have not had
They
to.
have not had to. But did they have to last week?
And to be
And
honest,
did they?
Yeah.
I think that's what screwed them.
Mhm.
I think that's
They
completely what
can't.
screwed them. That was a
The
young
Chiefs.
team.
What did the Chiefs do last week? 24-point comeback. They can play from behind. They're going to need Tannehill. If
Yeah, but you know who else can play from behind? The Titans. The Titans can 100% play from behind.
no,
Yeah, they can.
no, they can't.
I'll pull up the
Dude,
stats right now.
what stats? What stats can you pull that they?
Just the regular season, just games that they've played from behind in. I'll pull it
I
up
thought
right
you just
now.
said regular season different from postseason.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what
No,
I'm saying.
but listen,
Oh my God.
But listen, the Titans have a way. Okay, I got two more words. I got this. God, haven't gotten this sheet in a
Since
podcast in a while.
since the Dorset
Oh
Center
my
debacle.
God.
Remember
Yeah.
Dorset Center?
Oh my
you're
God.
off.
Okay.
That was fun.
Okay. So has the defense played well? The Titans defense.
Yes.
They allowed 13 points to the Patriots, 12 to the Ravens.
Yep.
Have they had to play from behind?
Who?
The Titans.
Yeah.
No. Not in those
In the
games.
postseason, have
No,
they
they
had to
haven't.
play from behind?
Sorry.
No. They've completely dominated games with Derrick Henry just carrying the load for them.
Agreed.
So they haven't had to have that pressure of playing from behind. And I think that if they do, I think Tannehill is ready for that task.
Okay. Third reason, I think Chiefs, Mahomes, obviously. You know, and I think it kind of comes down to whenever he does something amazing, everyone's just like, oh yeah, like yeah, he did that, he broke that record. Okay, cool. You get this in the division against the Texans, he became the youngest quarterback in NFL history to throw 5 touchdown passes in a single playoff game, and it only surprised like very very few people. It was almost kind of like, oh yeah, he did that.
Kind of with you.
Yeah,
there.
he's in so many ridiculous games. People have literally just become numb to it.
It's so first of all, what I want to say is the whole like, oh, they didn't come back from behind. Yeah, they did against the Chiefs, week 10. They were down 10-0 first, 13-13, and then they scored 9. They scored 7. They were down in that game.
Yeah, so prove my point. We're gonna tag team this now. Tannehill can play from behind. And
That's what I'm
carry a
saying.
team to win.
Right. I'm saying I never disagree with you. The fact that Tannehill, I said that Tannehill can hold his own. I know he can. Tannehill can hold his own.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you said that.
Fourth reason, want to make Mahomes even scarier, give him a weapon. So let's just round through these. So you already kind of touched upon this. Travis Kelce, arguably the best tight end in football. Reminded everyone of that. 10 receptions, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns this past week against Houston. Tyreek Hill is not one of, if not the fastest player in football. He's shown that pretty much literally every time he's on the field.
Ridiculous.
There are highlights of other players scoring like insane, like 80, 90-yard touchdowns where he'll
catches up.
Yeah, he'll like catch up to them and like beat them to the end zone. And it's like he'll challenge himself to like race and like just win every time.
Yeah.
Watkins isn't by any means as fast as Hill, but he's close. He can do.
Sammy Watkins.
I haven't heard that name in a
best
while.
Players.
Yeah.
He's not one of the best players, but
He's
up there.
Like the elite weapons. You think that Sammy Watkins is an elite?
He's not
weapon?
elite,
Yeah,
dude.
he's a.
Are you calling him elite?
I said he's one of Mahomes, so I didn't say elite.
He's a weapon.
You said elite weapons. You said give Mahomes elite weapons.
I think he was just talking about Kelce and Hill.
Yeah.
Which both those players are elite.
The first 2 were elite.
Yeah, but
okay,
no.
So
Watkins
elite.
is not elite. Watkins is not even that good.
I didn't
Watkins
say
is
he's
not
elite.
good, dude.
He's fine. I think he's fine.
Watkins like your big play player once in a while. He disappeared in the entire season, dude.
He did
And
kind of.
last week he had like.
I think he's fine. I think he's solid.
Okay.
I think he's all right.
Let's dive into NFC.
NFC.
Michael, you want to start off?
Yeah, sure. So
Go for it.
Okay. I can promise this and hold me to this.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of this game, the Packers and the San Francisco 49ers.
I think I know what you're going to say. Hold on. I want to write it down. Don't say anything.
Oh, I have to hold on. I have the Chiefs.
Hold on.
I'm just waiting for the awkward silence to be.
Okay, go.
Okay.
The winner of this game is going to lose the Super Bowl.
We'll lose the Super Bowl.
We'll lose the Super Bowl.
Wow.
They're not going to win.
Guaranteed.
I know I just said that the AFC
and I disagree.
has
And I
two
disagree
of the
with
worst championship rosters ever.
Yep.
But neither of these teams have the skill. Packers 49ers have the skill to win a Super Bowl. Let's look at the Packers' flaws. Rodgers' attitude.
I agree.
Below average O-line.
Agree.
Not a lot of weapons on offense.
Disagree.
Bad. We'll argue that in a second. Bad D-line. The team can disappear at times. Look at the Chargers game.
Yeah. Hey.
Rely on Aaron Rodgers too heavily. There's a lot of flaws for an NFC Championship team. Let's look at the 49ers flaws. Jimmy G is not ready for the spotlight. They don't have a go-to wide receiver. They have an inconsistent run game. The defense played poor down the stretch, and they're not experienced. They had their first playoff win in 6 years. Both teams seem to have high-powered offenses. San Fran is second with almost 30 points per game.
They both have
Green Bay is
high-powered
14th.
offenses.
San Fran is third in rushing yards per game. Green Bay is 15th. The 49ers are 18th in passing yards per game. Green Bay is 16th. So the Packers, 14, 15, 16. That's definition middle of the pack. San Fran, 2nd, 3rd, 18th.
It is middle of the
But
pack.
another huge thing. Playoffs, I think the Ravens, their fall last week was about turnovers, and the Titans capitalized off of them. You can't make turnovers. You have to be efficient in the playoffs, right? Green Bay averages the 2nd least giveaways this season, so they can take care of the ball. San Fran ranks 21st in giveaways, so kind of the upper half of giving the ball away more. Another huge stat, another huge stat that doesn't go, like, hard enough, and it's kind of, like, under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is 2-6 in West Coast games. San Francisco is on the West Coast.
Wait, actually?
Really?
It's on the West Coast?
He thought you were serious.
Yeah,
This guy really doesn't know where San Francisco
so
is.
they can't travel well. 2-6. I like the 49ers at home, and I expect them to lose in the Super
You probably
Bowl.
don't, for all intents and purposes of this, do you know their East record?
I don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
In San Fran, you know.
Well, just to back the narrative, just like they're bad traveling to new places, different altitudes, stuff like that.
I see what you're saying.
I like the 49ers.
Me too.
I think they're going to win just because of the record.
I like just because of the record.
Just because of the record.
I think there's a little bit more to it than that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm exaggerating, but that's a podcast.
So I got the Niners too. Again, I got four top reasons. So, pass protection. So last week, Niners faced the Vikings in NFC division round. During regular season, I know regular season's dead, but they do.
They do.
Minnesota accumulated the 5th
I
most
never
sacks
said they don't matter. For
in
the
the NFL.
record.
Okay, all right, so where do we stand on this? On playoff versus let's clarify right now.
I think it depends on what stat you're giving.
Okay, I agree.
You know what I mean?
So very
hold on.
circumstantial.
Why do you agree? Like, what stat would justify whether it matters?
What do you? I think it varies for each stat. Doesn't matter the stat. It just matters what you're comparing.
Yes, like what stat would matter more in the playoffs than the regular season?
Okay, for example, if Derrick Henry sucked in the beginning of the year in the last 2 weeks and the last 2 playoff games he just did sick, let's say he averaged, hypothetically he didn't, let's say hypothetically he averaged, 60 yards per game for the whole season up until week 13. And then from week 14 on, averaged 120. That would be a stat that, it's not an accurate showing comparing regular season to postseason.
I see what you're saying.
Okay, I understand.
Continue.
Right.
Continue, Bill.
Reason 2, nobody can stop Kittle. As a season after finishing,
Yeah, they can.
but it's very, very difficult.
Kittle had 16 yards last week.
But let me finish.
Kittle had 16 yards
Let me
last week.
finish. So over the past 2 seasons, Kittle accumulated 173 receptions, 2,430 receiving yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns. Absolute beast. I think he definitely, maybe wasn't explosive last week. I think he definitely makes an impact this week in this game. Reason 3, pass rush. As previously mentioned, Niners finished the regular season tied with Minnesota for 5th most sacks in the NFL. However, San Fran separated themselves from the Vikings in the division round, obviously. San Fran racked up 6 sacks and 9 QB hits. For Niners run defense, Rodgers is a future Hall of Fame quarterback, obviously. Green Bay's offense relied really heavily on Aaron Jones this season.
I don't like
Rodgers?
I don't like him.
I don't like him either, but he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I know, but I don't like him.
I don't like him
think
either.
so.
I don't like him either. I'm not a fan of him either.
He has an awful attitude. He can't have a good relation with his coaches.
I agree.
But honestly, I know we talk about A and B. It's a
But
long
think
time
about
ago.
the State Farm Bowl between the
I don't care.
Mahomes and
That'd be cool. That'd be
cool.
so cool.
I want to talk about the coaches for a second.
Yeah.
We're really hopping around right now.
yeah. Hey, dude, it's good
I love it,
conversation.
yeah.
So I want to talk about the coaches. Look at the coaches that were hired like 20 years ago. Very defensive-minded coaches.
Yeah.
Old guys, like nitty-gritty, defensive-minded guys. Look
Well,
at the guys.
hold on. I gotta interrupt you because I think now we're seeing guys or quarterbacks that are more explosive, can do more things or utilize more, can run faster, can throw really far and also run really fast at the same time. Not obviously not simultaneously, but can obviously
I
have
think
both.
quarterbacks are always capable of that.
And
I just
teams
think the
just-
game plans in the team franchise itself wouldn't really like.
I think
conform to
because
that.
of the increase in mobile quarterbacks, I think a lot of teams now are more just offensively inclined. They do what they work. They work with what they have.
Teams were always offensively inclined. I just think now more than ever.
Me
Like,
too.
I think
That's
defensive
what I'm
minded
saying.
coaches were always high. But look at this year.
Mhm.
Look at the 2 NFC coaches, Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur.
Mhm.
Both extremely offensive minded coaches. Look at the AFC, John Harbaugh and Mike Vrabel. Vrabel's he's defensive, but like Harbaugh, very offensive minded coach.
Well, not Harbaugh. Harbaugh's Ravens.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Reed.
And
Reed.
Andy Reid.
Yep. Yeah.
Offense, a little defense, but he's more offensive minded.
Mhm.
A lot of the coaches, and I know Andy Reid's an older guy, but like a lot of these coaches are moving into more of an offensive. I can't say offensive minded structure. I mean,
Yeah.
they really are. Matt Rule, one of the offensive guys in the entire world. I mean, Joe Judge is a wide receivers coach. Like a lot of these guys that are being hired have offensive backgrounds and tend to lean more towards that for their like. Strong
what
suit.
they're known for.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. Who are you picking here? Because you've been a little back and forth.
Niners.
You got Niners.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Well,
Okay.
give me 2 reasons why.
I just give you 4 reasons why.
I thought you were giving reasons for both.
No.
I thought you were
Oh
giving
no.
reasons
I just have reasons why I think Niners will win. Stats. Go for it.
Cop in.
I gotta circle.
All right. Here it is, baby. Oh God, here it is, baby. Jimmy G is in the ship, and I'm excited because I love Jimmy G.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's against. Shut up. He's against the hot Packers.
Shut up.
He's
Not
against
even an argument. Just shut up.
Shut up. He's against the hot Packers team. So let's get right in. Sports bettors over and under.
Sports better.
Over and under 45 points.
There's so many.
I think it'll be under.
Was it 46?
45.
45?
Interesting.
Over that.
Yeah, they're going to be out.
It's gonna be over that.
Niners are favored by 7.5 points. So last time these two teams played in Week 12, the Packers got killed. 37-8 loss. Granted, it was at home versus the Niners,
That's
but
so sad.
still. Garoppolo, 253
Wait, which
yards.
Packers were at home?
No,
No.
Niners were at home.
Niners, where are they?
Niners were at home.
At home.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Garoppolo,
Cool.
253 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael, Neil, during that game, how many first downs did Green Bay convert out of their 15 third down opportunities?
All right. Hold on.
They had 15 third down opportunities. How many did they convert in
I'm
Week
gonna
12?
guess.
12?
In Week 12. How many did you think they converted?
Hold on. Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to say on an average basis, by
4.
by average of the NFL average, I'm going to say 7.
Oh no.
They converted 1 first. So clearly,
So what are you saying, Pat? They're a good third down team?
so clearly they were able to pick apart this pack. This pack team.
Okay.
Go back to
Go pack, go. That's a thing. Go pack, go.
Yeah, but you never
Even
refer to the
Anthony-
team as the pack, like pack. Like
Anthony, you know what?
Niners
I
pack.
watched Anthony Davis in a Packers release
I
say,
can't wait.
"Let's go pack," and I
I
literally
can't
was
wait
like,
to watch
"Screw both of you."
I can't wait to watch the New York JETSs next week.
yeah. The New York Jets are going to be playing
just-
next week. No, that's the chant.
And
that
I
we
also
sang.
didn't say Green Bay pack. I just said the pack.
Yeah.
Because fans there refer to it as the pack. It's just a thing.
A little dicey, ladies and
Not
gentlemen.
dicey at all.
So the first thing I want to talk about is Tevin Coleman. Clearly, he's an asset on that offense. He's got the second most rushing yards per game, actually, with 144 yards. And I actually have him as my X factor.
Coleman
this
averages
week.
144 yards per game.
Interesting.
It surprised me, too.
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
I don't believe you.
Search it up. Go ahead. Search it up. So he's actually going to be
Tevin Coleman.
he's going to be my X factor this week. The Packers defense ranks 23rd in the league against stopping the run. And with this, as Michael says, the two-headed monster in San Francisco, I see the Packers having a lot of trouble stopping him on the ground. So let's hop into the star defense going up against a hot explosive offense, which is always an interesting time. So clearly Niners defense is legit. Allows 19.4 points on average per game. Numero uno in stopping the pass. They're tied for the fifth highest in sacks with 48 on the season. Just in the divisional against the Vikings, they had 6 sacks.
Huh?
In the divisional
I
against
know,
the
like,
Vikings.
oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
2 of which come from none other than Nick Bosa. Just an absolute animal. No doubt about it. By the way, did you guys hear how Garoppolo came out and said his injury was a blessing in disguise? Because since he was injured, they got Bosa.
Who cares?
I just thought it was kind of cool. Like, if you think about it, dude, like, they wouldn't have gotten Bosa if he was in the field because they would have been better.
Yes.
So it's interesting. So it's going to be a tall order for Rodgers and company. I definitely agree. But you know what? No. I was going to say don't write off the Packers O-line.
It's awful.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
not that
awful.
good.
It's
They're-
so bad.
So let's think pass offense. The average is 233 yards per game. That's only 17th in the league for the Packers. Right? That's not great. And you could say, hey, it's decent. It's the playoffs. Decent doesn't cut it. In the divisional, decent doesn't cut it. In the NFC Championship, decent doesn't cut it.
In the NFC Championship.
That's right.
Oh
So for
my
the Packers,
God.
I think it's step up or step out. That's what I think it is. So I've been killing the Packers. So let's get a little bit more positive. Of course, the asset going into is Devontae Adams. 160 yards for 8 receptions and 2 touchdowns. When Adams has more than 100 receiving yards, they went 5-1. It is pretty much their asset. So here's
That's
what's
a good stat.
That's right. Here's
5-1 for over 100 yards.
Here's what's going to kill them guaranteed. They're the most two-dimensional offense. Devontae Adams has caught 83 balls this season. On the season, he's caught 83 balls. Who has the second most catches on the Packers offense?
Jimmy Graham. Oh, I got it. Valdez Scantling.
I saw what it is, so I can't
Alan
say.
Lazard.
There you go.
Allen? What? With how many receptions, Michael? How many receptions did he have?
34.
35.
Oh, come on! Come on!
I'm impressed. That was good. He had
I
35
heard 30 and I
catches.
was like, oh my god, he's gonna get it.
Yeah, that's such a severe drop-off, dude. That's not good. And with this secondary...
Okay, so then hold on. We're doing a lot of callbacks this episode. I hope you're having fun watching this Friday night. You said earlier, I said the Packers don't have a lot of weapons on offense. You go, yeah, they do.
They have weapons, but not with the pass. I'm saying they have the weapon
Aaron
of...
Jones.
Right?
What other weapons do they have?
And that's what I'm saying. Aaron Jones, Devontae. I think if you have two weapons, you're deep enough, dude. If you have two elite, listen. If you have two elite players
here's
on the
my
team,
refutal.
Rebuttal.
Saints.
yes.
Outside of Michael Thomas and
Alvin
Alvin Kamara, who do they have? No one. And
Who else do they need?
Where'd they end up?
Losing.
Who else do they need? They lost in the wild card. They were at 13.
They lost,
in
dude.
the wild card.
They lost, but they're
so
still.
they obviously needed more pieces. They lost in the wild card.
They don't need any more pieces.
They lost in the wild card. How can they need any more pieces?
They just do.
Did they win the Super Bowl? Did they even go to the divisional? No! They lost in the wild card.
No, they lost because they lost, and the Vikings played good, dude. The Vikings just played good.
20 points.
The Vikings played fine, dude. I'm enjoying it too.
So they didn't play good enough.
I'm
they had pieces they need to have.
With the secondary that ranks first against the pass. And to be honest, I got Jimmy G. I got Jimmy G going to his first Super Bowl as a starter.
All right.
Niners win 30.
No. I don't have Jimmy G. I have the 49ers going.
He leads the 49ers.
He does not. No, he does not.
All right.
I got Jimmy G going to his first Super Bowl as a starter, 32-24.
All right, Michael, hop in. 2-minute warning.
Right, 2-minute warning. So, I don't even want to talk about it. So, here's what happened. So, we got the A and B. Talked with the coaches twice, actually.
Yeah.
We both feel that...
We do a lot of bouncing.
We do.
I like that. It was good.
Like that. Mike McCarthy, I still feel that he is a more conservative pick for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Matt Rule, I think, is going to be a boomer bust type guy. We talked about the divisional games. I think there are a lot of good games.
A lot of interesting ones. I enjoyed.
All I'm going to say.
A lot of interesting games.
So, we'll go to AFC Championship, Titans Chiefs. We had a lot of analysis for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Are we all consensus on Titans? That's going
to
be fun.
No, he's Chiefs.
Oh.
I have Chiefs.
26-1 defense, 180 yards per game, breaking records. Okay, anyway.
Breaking records.
NFC Championship, Packers-Niners. Do we all have the Niners?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Sorry, Aaron.
Okay, so now I want to talk about who is your champion. So for Pat and I, it's Titans San Fran.
I still have San Fran.
Huh? Yeah, but you have the Chiefs.
I have Chiefs San Fran. Oh.
I have
Chiefs San Fran.
So Titans San Fran, who do you have it?
Okay, you can't hold me to this because I might change my opinion. Listen, you can't ask me to pick somebody without me doing notes, without anything.
Fair.
I'm gonna put down Niners for now, but I'm gonna have to see. Niners for now.
Hands down.
Niners for now.
I have the Tennessee Derrick Henry Titans.
That's
beating the San Francisco 49ers.
Absolutely scorching take.
It's a take, but it's
scorching.
It's
take.
not
that scorching.
It's
not
really
yeah,
not.
It's you know what? 4 teams left. Honestly, nothing is scorching at this point.
It's not. There's nothing scorching. I agree.
Nope. Top 3.
Top 3, man.
Top three. Rhode Island pizza places. I kind of want to start this one off. So, number 3, I really like, and it's probably because I'm from like Mass. I prefer like Boston pizza, right? So. But I really like.
Are you from Mass?
Oh, only kind of. I basically live in Rhode Island. Like when I get my license, I'm not gonna.
You're gonna be
all the Rhode Island laws will apply to me. Like the Massachusetts hardo laws won't apply to me because I won't be doing any of my driving in Massachusetts.
Right.
Number 3, I like Antonio's on Thayer.
I didn't think about it. Good choice.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that move.
I also like Anthony's Brick Oven Pizza. What?
Oh, you said was Anthony's one of yours?
No.
Oh, did you come up with another idea? Okay.
Continue. Okay. Number 1.
Casona pizza. Very good. Can I start off next?
Go for it. Yep.
Number 3 is gonna be Four Brothers Pizza. I really like Four Brothers. They're a couple. Yeah.
It's good.
Dude,
it's alright.
They're Four Brothers. They have a couple
Is it
locations.
top 10? Probably not. Top 15? Maybe.
It's in my top 3. I really like it. They have a location EG and NK. Check it out. Number 2 is gonna be Flatbreads on Thayer. I love that Flatbreads. I went there like a week ago for the first time. It was so good. I just had never been there. It was so good.
Right.
Number 1, Bike Stop Pizza in Narragansett, Rhode Island. It is this little.
I went there with you.
It's really good. So it's this little corner. If you guys know where Crazy Burger is, you take a left onto this rando street. It looks like a trap house. It looks like they're like gross, like overgrown plants. But when you get in there, it's very
cool.
Very like rustic.
Yeah.
And the za is so good. It's thin crust, no flop, thin crust.
Fantastic.
So good.
Cheesy goodness.
Alright, so number 3, I got Eliana's. It's on Federal Hill.
I hope you guys can tell that I'm the most Italian one sitting at this table.
Oh gosh. So here's what they do. So what's the layers? It's bread, sauce, cheese, right? That's how pizza goes.
Cheese, bread, sauce,
No,
bread,
mister.
cheese, sauce.
Bread, cheese, sauce. In Eliana's, it's the greatest pizza
And
ever.
kind of
It's so good.
Caserta to an extent.
Caserta's
they got-
thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, flatbreads. If you haven't had it yet,
You gotta get over
we're not sponsoring, but
it.
also flatbread sponsor us. And number 1, Caserta. That's
Caserta pizza.
Caserta. It's yeah.
Boys, I think we just about wrapped up. Episode
Absolutely.
11.
Episode 11.
Wow.
I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And we'll see you next time.
Let's go. All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
God.